Welcome to another edition of Set to Succeed, and right here with me is Guinea. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
So we are at KAPC, of course that stands for Kenya Association of Professional Counselors, and she's one of them who is actually going to be talking about something very interesting because it's something that affects most of us, I think. It's got nothing to do with being overboard, but you know, when people are out there partying, having a good time, socializing, one of the things you see them doing is obviously drinking. It's become a social norm. It's become one of those things when you go to a party, hey, just have one wine. Hey, you know, how about we have a few whiskeys, it's just a party, come on, how can you not do it, you know? And later on, somehow or the other, I've met up with a few people who turn out to be alcoholics. They go to that level. So she's going to be updating us about how this could help in terms of trying to get out of alcoholism, and it's all about counseling. So before I carry on, I'd like you to introduce yourself. Tell us what is it that you do, how long have you been in this profession, and yeah, give us details about you.
Okay, my name is Nandini once again, Nandini Nasongo. I'm a counselor at KAPC, like she's already said. My area of specialization is actually sex and sex therapy, but I work very closely with alcoholics. Okay. In fact, I have a very good relationship with some of the rehabs in this town. Okay. I meet them like 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah, some of the rehabs in this town. Okay. So I interact quite a lot with the users of drugs and other things.
Okay, that's good to know. So one of the things I'd like to ask you is that, you know, it takes some time for people to realize that alcohol is a problem. Oh yeah. Right? Yes. So do you have anybody who comes up and says, hey, you know, I have an issue with alcohol? Do they say that, or do you have anybody who comes up and says, I have this problem? Anybody? Not really?
What happens, or what I've seen so far, is that those who are said to be alcoholic never admit that they are alcoholic. Never. Honestly, they don't even realize that they are. Okay. Until they reach what we call rock bottom is when they realize, man, I need help. And this is a level where they have almost spent everything that they have in their houses. They have stolen from almost everybody and nobody wants them around. Right. And this time they're like, now if nobody wants to take me in, then I'm just dying. That's when they want to seek help. Okay, so do you have friends or families who come and say that this person needs help? Yeah, many times they come. They bring them here, but you know, unless the person is willing, there isn't much you can do for that person. Okay, so when the person does reach rock bottom and they come to you, how is it that you help them? Because obviously, I'm sure they don't see it as, oh, you're going to help me? I don't think so, sort of a thing. So how do you help this certain individual who, first of all, doesn't know and then goes to rock bottom and then comes to somebody else to get help? How does it work with you? The good thing is that they acknowledge now that they have a problem. It becomes a very good starting point for us. Okay. Once they have acknowledged that they have a problem, then we start. We start them on a program, okay? And we don't just start dealing with alcoholism. We want to understand what the underlying problem is before we now get into it, because so many other factors could have led to their drinking. Right. Yes. Okay, so just to ask you, are there certain steps that you take for this person to, you know, go through during the counseling stage? Yeah, what happens is that many of those that have come here are already either recovering or they've just decided they want to stop. Right. Now, after listening to them and talking to them, we may decide that they need to have what they call a detox. So we refer them to hospital first. Right. They go through that. And then after that, now they come back sober, you know, when they're not now on alcohol. Right. That's when we can now start talking. Now we put them again on a recovery program. Okay. Yes. So that's how it works. That's how it works. Have you had any extreme cases where, you know, somebody has reached extreme rock bottom, and when I'm thinking extreme, I'm thinking maybe this person doesn't want to leave because of what's happened? Have you had any such situations? Yeah, we had one case here, and it almost became fatal, you know, here. So this guy was actually on recovery in a program also at the rehab, but he was still coming here for therapy. Right. And then, unfortunately, you know, when they're in that program, they're given certain medications also to keep them away from alcohol. Right. But this guy apparently was hiding and drinking at the same time. So he used to get seizures Oh, so one time in the session, this guy just went bang and hit his head down on the ground. And
dear.
Yeah, so we had to call in medics to take him to hospital. Sometimes it gets to that level. But he said, all I wanted to do was just die. I'm so useless. What am I living for?
Oh dear. So did he get out of this?
Currently, he's not drinking, but he's okay.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, that's a step ahead, right?
Okay.
So how has it been for you, like when it comes to alcohol, when you see kids drinking or when you see somebody else drinking, do you have this thing of giving advice? Do you go there and tell this person, don't do this, or does it?
Well, as a counselor, I don't think it's my business to interfere in people's lives.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're taking your drink and you're enjoying it, well and good. But if it becomes a problem, then you might also want to seek help, right?
Right.
But if you're taking one drink today, you're taking two, sometimes that's how it starts. You start initially as fun. Some of them start out of curiosity, especially the young people. Then the following day, other people are laughing at you and they're saying, oh, you only take one drink and you're high. So you tell yourself, no, I must take 2, 3, 4. Of course. And that's how you get addicted to the whole thing.
Peer pressure is one thing I can guarantee you is kind of interesting how people get into it.
Yes.
How do you see counseling helping, people who are alcoholic? Maybe there's somebody who doesn't want to even, is not an alcoholic, needs to stop alcohol because, obviously there's so many other diseases that come up with alcohol and they want to stop it. How does counseling help for that?
Like I said, when someone is taking alcohol or when they get alcoholic, it's because there could be an underlying problem. So once we dig out that problem, for example, stress, we want to find out what is causing this stress. Could they be having issues with their relationships with their significant others or any other person around them? So we start dealing with that issue. Once we have dealt with that, sometimes the person stands up and says, man, this is what was causing me problems. I'm not drinking anymore.
Exactly.
So that's how it goes. Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's good to know. So obviously this is one place that you could come to. That's KAPC.
Yes.
And it's located at 2nd Parklands. And this is the most convenient place to be at.
Yes.
What I'd ask you is, do you have different charges for such counseling, or how does it work? If I had to come here,
we take them in, and we charge 1,500 per session.
Okay, so they can basically just walk in and come and have a session with you. If I had to come here, let's say I want to stop drinking alcohol, do I have to make an appointment? Do I have to call in? How does it usually work?
We have people who just walk in. We have people who call, and we have those who are referred by their different organizations.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that can be answered better by my superiors.
Okay, fantastic. But remember this, that you can call on the numbers shown right here below, and obviously call them up, get the information you need. If you know a friend or a family member who needs some help, you know exactly where to go. And thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you. I am sure somebody out there has been helped today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.